Bear down Chicago. Massive breaking news just hit the Windy City, and it is shaking Halas Hall to its absolute core. Da Bears just got hit with a terrifying injury scare to a crucial defensive weapon, and the front office had to scramble fast. Management just pulled the trigger on a desperate emergency signing to save our secondary. Plus, another brutal blow just ended the entire season for a veteran defender. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now to find out exactly who is out and who just arrived to keep this defense alive. Bears fans, we've had a whirlwind of news from Halas Hall this week, with veteran safety Kobe Bryant taking center stage due to a scary practice injury. As a known quantity in our secondary, Bryant has been a steady presence for the Chicago Bears, someone we've grown to rely on for his experience and leadership. The news broke that he sustained a hyperextended knee, a bone bruise, and a small fracture, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, which immediately sent shivers down our spines. The relief was palpable when reports confirmed it's not season-ending, but Schefter projects an 8 to 10 week recovery, meaning Bryant will miss at least the first month of the season. In response, the team signed safety Marlon Sewell, an undrafted free agent who spent 5 years at Vanderbilt, racking up 102 tackles and 0.5 sacks in 45 games. Though he's realistically just a camp body for now. We also learned veteran edge rusher Jonathan Garvin, who was battling for a depth spot, was placed on injured reserve and will miss the entire 2026 season for an undisclosed injury. Let's be real, while we're thankful Kobe's injury isn't worse, it's another blow to an already thin secondary with Elijah Hicks also on the PUP list, and Kyler Gordon still hurt. Fans are left wondering how Cam Lewis, now getting first-team reps alongside Dylan Thieneman, will perform under pressure, and what this rash of early injuries truly means for our defensive backfield depth. Can this patchwork secondary truly hold up against our early season opponents? Or are we set for a rocky start while we wait for reinforcements? The news hitting us just a day after safety Kobe Bryant's injury is a stark reminder of how quickly things can change, as the Bears have signed Marlon Sewell and placed edge rusher Jonathan Garvin on injured reserve. This flurry of activity underscores a growing concern in our secondary, especially with Bryant now expected to miss the first month of the season after sustaining a hyperextended knee, a bone bruise, and a small fracture, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. With fellow safety Elijah Hicks already on the PUP list with a shin injury, albeit not a long-term concern, this team suddenly faced a significant depth issue that required an immediate answer. Sewell, an undrafted free agent signing previously cut by the Kansas City Chiefs in June, brings 5 years of experience from Vanderbilt, where he appeared in 45 games and tallied 102 combined tackles. But he's frankly viewed as little more than a cam body to fill out the roster in this emergency. This isn't the first time we've seen our secondary get hit hard by injuries. Looking back, we've weathered similar storms, often relying on unproven talent to step up, though the outcomes have been mixed at best. The front office and coaching staff led by Ben Johnson are undoubtedly looking at this with a next man up mentality, but also with the pragmatic understanding that they need able bodies for practice and competition right now. The decision to place Garvin on IR, meaning he'll miss the entire 2026 season unless an injury settlement is reached, simply creates the necessary roster spot for Sewell. Now that we've detailed the transactions, let's shift gears and explore what these developments genuinely mean for the Chicago Bears. This situation matters right now because our secondary depth, already a significant concern for us as Chicago Bears fans, has taken a substantial hit just weeks before the season opener, creating a palpable vulnerability that could expose us early. The immediate impact is clear. With veteran Kobe Bryant sidelined for 8 to 10 weeks due to a hyperextended knee, bone bruise, and small fracture, as reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter and Elijah Hicks also on the PUP list, Cam Lewis will step into crucial first-team safety reps alongside Dylan Thieneman. Marlon Sewell, signed after being cut by the Kansas City Chiefs and bringing 5 years at Vanderbilt with 102 combined tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 3 passes defensed, and 0.5 sacks, amounts to nothing more than a camp body for now. Jonathan Garvin's move to injured reserve means he misses the entire 2026 season, thinning our edge rusher depth, though he was competing for a smaller rotational role. And the more I look at this, the absence of Bryant for at least the first month means we'll be without a veteran presence in key early season matchups, potentially against aggressive offenses, forcing Ben Johnson's coaching staff to adapt quickly. This reshuffling of our secondary could give our NFC North rivals, like the Detroit Lions under Dan Campbell and the Green Bay Packers with Matt LaFleur, a tactical advantage in early divisional games. Any struggles here directly impact our win-loss record and our playoff chances, as early season momentum is vital for us to contend for a postseason berth. We need these younger players to step up faster than anticipated. The latest roster shakeup brings a familiar mix of relief and concern as we prepare for the season. On one hand, the news regarding Kobe Bryant's injury, while certainly a blow, could have been far worse. According to Adam Schefter, his hyperextended knee, bone bruise, and small fracture mean he'll miss about 8 to 10 weeks, avoiding a season-ending catastrophe. This means we should see him back on the field later this season, which is a silver lining. However, his absence, combined with Elijah Hicks also being on PUP with his shin injury, immediately stretches our secondary depth. The signing of safety Marlene Sewell, an undrafted free agent from Vanderbilt who tallied 102 combined tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 3 passes defense, and 0.5 sacks in 45 college games, is a direct response to this need. While analysts are quick to label Sewell as nothing more than a camp body, a typical assessment for an undrafted free agent cut by a team like the Kansas City Chiefs after their move for L'Jarius Sneed, it highlights how quickly our depth has thinned out. Adding to the injury woes, we also lost edge rusher Jonathan Garvin, now on injured reserve for the entire 2026 season barring a settlement. The part fans are not ready for is the reality of leaning on untested players like Cam Lewis and Dylan Thieneman to fill significant roles at the start of the season, with Kyler Gordon also sidelined and Hicks on PUP. My honest take here is that while we absolutely dodged a season-ending bullet with Kobe Bryant's situation, missing 8 to 10 weeks, including the crucial first month, is still a substantial challenge. So, when we consider Marlon Sewell joining the roster and the latest on Kobe Bryant's injury, a clear picture emerges for our Bears' immediate future and their strategic approach. This team is clearly focused on building sustainable depth, even if it means bringing in temporary solutions to weather the storm of injuries. The front office knows that championship contenders face adversity, and these moves, while seemingly small, are about ensuring we always have enough bodies to compete and push for improvement in practice. For us as Chicago Bears fans, we should feel a mix of caution and hopeful anticipation heading into the season. It's certainly a blow to hear Kobe Bryant sustained a hyperextended knee, bone bruise, and small fracture, putting him on a recovery timeline of 8 to 10 weeks, which means missing the first month of the season. That's tough news, especially with Elijah Hicks also sidelined. However, the silver lining, and I cannot stress this enough, is that Bryant has avoided a season-ending injury. This isn't a lost year for a key player, but rather a temporary setback. It forces others like Cam Lewis and Dylan Thieneman, who will get first-team reps,